Justin Trudeau's Liberals lash out at Doug Ford's Ontario government as they botch the Stellantis deal. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. Look, I'm on the record. I think that the biggest problem in the Stellantis deal, the Volkswagen deal, all of these things, the huge subsidies that companies are demanding goes back to Joe Biden in the White House. You know, Justin Trudeau's friend, the man that most Canadians would have voted for if they had a vote in the U.S. presidential election. Biden is the one driving all of this. But at the same time, Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government have botched the Stellantis deal. Why and how? Well, because they promised Stellantis that they would match what is in the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act. And now they haven't delivered. They delivered for Volkswagen. We've heard the numbers, up to $13 billion if production and employment targets are met. And there is a defense for some of this, so much so that even I, a strong critic of the Trudeau government, will say, you know what, giving a tax break if you meet production and employment targets is not a bad thing. But if they're going to promise that to Stellantis and then not deliver, well, then Stellantis is going to take their ball and go home, which is what they've said they're going to do. They're looking at contingency plans now because the federal government won't deliver. It's fair for Stellantis to say, look, if you're going to give all this money to our competitive Volkswagen, we deserve the same treatment. It's either the same treatment for both, or you're doing favoritism for one over the other. Well, the Trudeau government promised Stellantis they'd make them whole, that they would look after them. But then they realized it was getting difficult. And over the last few days, news broke that the talks were bogged down. So the Trudeau government's under fire from the city of Windsor, from Unifor, the union representing the auto workers, from Stellantis itself, from opposition parties. So what do? They turn around and they start firing at their partner in this deal, Ontario's Ford government. Yeah, that's right. Before the Ford government even knew that the Trudeau Liberals wanted them back at the table, they were leaking to CBC. They were putting out tweets and statements. Check out this tweet that François-Philippe Champagne put out on his way to South Korea. It is something that he put out before even talking to the Ford government. I'll read it to you here. We've always said we will be competitive with the U.S. when it comes to the auto sector, but we need to work together at all levels of government. What we now need is for Ontario to pay its fair share, full stop. Windsor is a key place to build our EV ecosystem. If you're against this EV ecosystem, if you're against this sort of thing, you're never going to buy into it. And that's fine. I understand that argument as well. But if you're going to buy into it, then you actually do things in a certain way. Industry insiders, government insiders have told me the Trudeau government started shooting at the Ford government before even discussing this with them. That is, as one put it to me, bad form. That is not how you negotiate. You negotiate with your friends and your allies behind closed doors. You don't do it on Twitter. This is an incredibly bad move for a man who wants to be the next Prime Minister of Canada after Justin Trudeau resigns. This is an incredibly dumb way to go about doing things. Eventually, a deal with Stellantis will be had. But the fact that the Trudeau government turned around and started shooting at their allies when Stellantis stood up and walked away from the table tells you how bad they've handled this. This is simply bad negotiation tactics, bad form, bad style, bad tactics, and bad planning from the Trudeau government. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.